You keep changing up your mind like a spin the bottle, playing hide and seek with all your problems, and I've been losing sleep.
I just got to Woodbine for the 2024 Kings Plate. Super excited to watch the races, have a good time, and just like meet new people. I love coming to these events. You always meet really cool people actually. Like every time I've come here, I meet really cool, affluent people, make great connections. So yeah, looking forward to it. But let's address the elephant in the room, and that is I do not like, or not say I don't like, I'm not a fan of like networking and meeting new people. As shocking as it might sound, I'm actually a bit shy and a little bit introverted, like in actual reality. So it's always a bit of a struggle for me to like walk up to somebody, strike up a conversation. And so I had to give myself a little bit of a pep talk before getting here. So let's rewind. I'm all dressed up and I'm ready to go. If you're a little bit introverted like I am, sometimes it can be nerve-wracking to go to events. Just the thought of meeting new people, to me, honestly, it doesn't come easy. I need to put in effort. When I know somebody already, I've already made the connection, it's easier. But that first touch point, it's always a struggle for me. And so I like to be prepared. So first thing I do is I set a small goal. So my goal today is to make just 2 to 3 meaningful connections. I find that quality is always better than quantity. And so I'm not going there thinking I want to meet or connect with as many people as possible. Yeah, I'll speak to people, I'll connect with people, but I just want to make 2 to 3 quality connections that I can keep going beyond the event. That also helps me not to feel pressured to keep the conversation going with like every single person that I speak to. I'm just going to aim for quality over quantity. Another thing I like to do is to start with familiar faces. Most times when I go to an event, I'm able to identify a fellow content creator or somebody that I've seen online somewhere, somehow. It's easier for me to walk up to that person, strike up a conversation, and then that eases me into like a social setting. I start feeling more comfortable. Sometimes they will introduce me to somebody else, and I just organically grow my network that way. So if you go to an event, you see somebody that you already know or you've seen somewhere, walk up to that person. It's going to be easier for you to strike up a conversation with them rather than going to a complete stranger. Also use the environment to your advantage when you're speaking to people. You know, make reference to like the food or the theme, depending on what type of event that you're attending. I'm going to a racing event, so obviously, you know, the conversations that I'm going to strike up will be related to that. Using the context of the event is an easy and natural icebreaker that doesn't feel forced because it's relevant to what's going on. Closely linked to that is being knowledgeable about the type of event that you're going to. You know, you don't want somebody to have a conversation with you, they make a comment, they ask you something, and then you really have no idea what's going on. I don't know much about racing horses, betting, and so I did do a little bit of reading so that if somebody asks me a question or something comes up, I'm not going to sound dumb. I do have some basic knowledge. So you want to make sure that if you're going to an event, you have some sort of knowledge. Since I'm not the best at striking conversations, what I do use to my advantage is the power of active listening. And so when I am in conversations with people, I try and listen deeply to what they're saying. That way, it's just like helping me learn the person more, understand them better. That way, I know how to relate to them and how my story somewhat connects with them. And from there, it can help me build a better connection with them. So if you're not like, you know, the most outgoing person when it comes to starting conversation, listen to what people are saying. If you're genuinely interested in what they're saying and you're listening, that's going to help you keep the conversation going. One of the biggest lessons I learned from being a recruiter is to ask open-ended questions. This helps you to just get more information from people. And like I said, it helps you keep the conversation going. I also like to keep a couple of conversation starters at the top of my head. Again, this depends on the type of event that you're going to. I'm going to a racing event, and so I need to have information like if there's a particular race that's going on, you know, a conversation starter could be, who are you putting your money on? What brings you to this event? That always helps. Don't just go to an event thinking you're going to wing it. If you're somewhat introverted, make sure you like plan and have ideas at the back of your mind to speak to. And then probably the most important thing is know when to exit a conversation. You know, you can always tell if somebody is just entertaining you and they're not really interested in having a conversation, it's okay to end the conversation and speak to somebody else. Here are examples of things you can say. And make sure that if you really enjoyed speaking to that person, you think you can add value to them, you think they can add value to them, take the connection further, ask them to connect on LinkedIn, on Instagram, get their email, get their number, whatever way it is that you want to connect. How I determine is based on, how I feel like I can connect to this person. There's some people that I'll connect with on LinkedIn, and there's some people that I'll connect with on Instagram. It just depends who they are. The most important thing and the key to networking successfully, building relationships, making connections is to have a genuine interest in people. So when you're going to an event, if it's a social setting or even if it's specifically a networking event, don't just go there with the aim of, okay, I need to make X number of connections. Have a genuine interest in people. It shows and it reflects in the conversation if you're genuinely interested in speaking to the person, if you're curious, and it makes the conversation more natural. So I think I'm ready. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm going to go pick up my friend and we will head to the racetrack.
But it's barely hanging by a thread. Brought a knife to.
Have you been to the plate before?
I missed last year, but yeah, excited to be back this year.
You promise no take back. Wearing my heart like a
Because of the weather, they've cancelled this thing, and so it's literally like no more racing. It's just chit-chatting, connecting. But the weather is also about to get bad, and so I'm like, I need to leave this place now. Anyway, my goal is to connect with 2 to 3 people, like I mentioned. I could not do that on it's like raining and hectic. I did connect with one person, which is still a win for me because this is somebody that I think will be a really valuable connection. And so I'm happy about that, not complaining. And I think a final tip when going to events is don't forget to follow up. Don't just meet the people and then end it there. Reach out to them like you've connected with them on LinkedIn, Instagram, whatever. Send them a note, send them an email, remind them where you met, and keep the connections going. I hope you enjoyed watching this little video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.
brought a knife to